Hi, you guys. We are excited for this episode because we know that it is the time of year where you do two things usually. Sometimes I do think people skip the first one. You should look back at the year you just had and you look forward with excitement to the year that's coming. So, in this episode, we are going to try to motivate you to have a great year. We're excited for this year. But first, we are going to start by doing an exercise that we want you all to do at home. Because a big chunk of our listener audience, probably 100%, is female millennials. And one thing I know about female millennials is that they work extremely hard, whatever that looks like for you. And they're hard on themselves. Like a lot of us are hard on ourselves, and we don't take a pause to think about the things that we are doing really well. So I want all of you to honestly take a moment, whether it's in the shower, whether you sit down with a journal and think about 3 things that you have done really well this past year. And that feels so good to value yourself, value your time, value your effort, and just give yourself credit. So, Abby and I are going to start by telling you the things that we feel like we're doing well in case it helps to kind of start to jog your mind to think of yours or help you. Maybe you'll take one of these for what you want to do next year. Okay, do you want to start with your first one?
Yeah. So my first one is a morning routine. So I really do love my morning routine to the fact that if I don't have my morning routine, I'm done for the day.
I can't stand her morning routine because if she misses it, it's like she feels like she cannot function. One could say you could work on.
I could work on being
if
more
you have
flexible.
to miss it, we can't melt.
And it's not even missing it. It's any part of it changing. Like that's to the point. Like habits are so important to me. And maybe I like, are they so important to everybody? They are so important to me. No, the answer is no.
To you, it's more, and that's okay.
Yes. And
to a lot of listeners, it's probably more.
And it's one of those things where when you're in the habit and it's a good habit, you feel like you can run the world. And many of my days start off because I know exactly what's going to happen. My kids are sleeping through the night at this point. There's not a whole lot of random things that happen. I will say with the snow that's happening right now, it's a little bit of a change to the morning routine because there's 10 to 20 minutes of snow that has to be picked up before I can go for my morning dog walk. So every morning I wake up, I'm either working out. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm working out. I sometimes take a sauna. But every single day we are getting the kids up around 6:20. We get them completely ready. We get them on the school bus. And as soon as they're on the school bus, I am walking our dog in nature, usually with no electronic. Like I will have my phone with me, but usually I'm not talking to people on the phone. I'm not listening to music. Sometimes I'll have an audiobook in if I need it, but it's one of those things that just grounds me for the entire day. Pouring rain, I might skip it, but if it's a light rain, I'm still going. If it's snowing, I'm still going. If it's cold, I'm still going.
Well, we're very hardy with weather. We're
very good. We're very good about that. But my dog, it's become her habit too. So if there's ever a day where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do this instead, she's at my heels being like, Abby, this is what we do. We do this every single day. And then I always come back, I clean up breakfast, I get into the shower, I get ready, and it starts my day. And it feels so good. And it can be one of those eye roll things because literally if any of those things change,
I do not roll my eye. I think a lot of people love a morning routine and I think it is great. I think it is absolutely great and I'm really proud of you.
There we go.
I think when the trail closed and we melted down about it.
Yes, we talked about the trail closing.
And obviously sometimes the thing is too, and we've said this so many times before, as you guys know, Abby is a special needs parent. So I feel like because a lot of your life is out of your control and hard, you need that control. And that's probably why it feels like I absolutely need this.
Yeah.
Because it just starts me on the right foot.
Yep. The one part. And nobody's awake during the times when I'm working out before the kids wake up. No one's awake. And I know that's the only time my day where work doesn't need me. My husband doesn't need me. My kids don't need me. The dog doesn't need me. The house doesn't need me. It's the one time where I'm like, I can actually do this and not think about anything else. And I think that's a hard part is that I'm the type of person, you guys, where it's really hard for me to walk over a mess and get a workout in. Like, I'm not going to say that it's the easiest thing in the world for me. I purposely will do it. I'll close the door so I don't see the mess. But if I see something that has to get done, it's really hard for me to rest at night. It's hard for me to go to bed. It's hard for me to watch TV. It's hard for me to get a workout in. So that's another thing that I could work on. But the habit of doing that has really helped.
And I think if you're listening and you're like, that's extremely intense, there's no way I can do all that.
Mhm.
I think take from it what you can. I think bottom line, we all need some time to ourselves. Some of us, like me, I don't like to get up early. So, like, morning isn't my slot. But, take her idea. Also, if you want to start a morning routine, it doesn't have to be Abby's hour-long morning routine.
Right.
It could certainly be 20 minutes that you are by yourself. That's so important to people.
Mhm.
Some people like to have a morning coffee in silence.
Right. It can be just one
We
thing. It can
support
be one
all
thing. Mhm.
morning routines.
What about for you?
One thing that I have continued to be good at is financial transparency with Drew. I've talked about this a lot on the podcast, just my history of feeling a lot of shame about money, and shame makes us, want to keep secrets. I mean, bottom line. So to be able to, whether I have the best updates in the world or a tougher update, because the businesses that Abby and I work in, it's variable income. So it's not a steady paycheck for the most part. Things go up, things go down. It can feel stressful at times. And I've just decided, like, I can't carry a burden by myself. Like, I'm going to be really open and honest with Drew, whether things are going awesome or things are going hard. So if you've struggled with money in the past or you struggle with money currently, I do feel like once I started practicing transparency with someone that's responsible, sometimes it's not your spouse.
Right.
Maybe your spouse
Right.
is worse than
Right.
you
Right.
are, but you want to get into a position. I mean, Abby and I talk very openly about
do.
money. You want to get some basically accountability partners in your life that are going to help you, because money can be an extremely stressful issue in a lot of people's lives. And so I think talking about it, not keeping it secret, working through it, making plans, sticking to an amount you want to spend, like, all of that actually feels better than keeping it in and keeping it a secret.
Well, and it's a lot of things with money. It is like you just said, you're talking about it, you're budgeting, you're planning ahead, you're looking at the credit card bills, you're
Yep.
talking with your partner, you're talking with your friends about it. It can feel like a lot of things. So just try one
It
of
actually
them.
is like a lot to be an adult and have to
It
manage
really
money.
is. It really is.
And I know people like joke about that, but it's like seriously a lot to, manage money, try to make smart decisions for your family. You're thinking about your future. We're thinking about retirement. I mean, we're almost 40. Okay. So it's not cute anymore.
No.
It's like very serious, I feel, for our lives. So as you can be transparent, it could be a practice. This is over years and years. Drew and I have been together for a long time now. And we actually kind of not joined our money, but talked about money super early on. So now it's a habit. But this year it was, like I said, whether things were tough or whether things were great, I was really open and honest because I didn't want to hold it to myself.
Yeah. It can feel really heavy when it's just on you and being able to share that. And then you also get another perspective of it, of being like, hey, you're actually doing really well. And you're like, I was giving myself all this pressure.
Yeah.
And I didn't even need to be doing that. I like that one. Another one that I do well is kind of a funny one, but again, we're almost 40. So I'm going to bring this up, and it's supplements. It's subscriptions and supplements. And all through my 20s, it was
I'm
like,
just noticing yours are all habits and routine.
they literally are. I mean, and it's one of those things where I'm like, I am a person that I thrive in habits, and
Mhm.
it's so good for me. And as soon as I don't have that schedule or that structure, I do crumble. And I know that about myself. And with supplements, one day isn't going to change your world. Like if you miss your morning vitamins one day, nothing's going to happen.
Also, to note, Abby has Hashimoto's and works with a doctor to take very specific supplements and also prescriptions.
Mhm.
So I think it's different, because I think internet is full of influencers selling supplements, but this is like very serious. I mean, to have your back,
Tons
because
has gone into it.
to say that you crumble without them, it's like, I mean, sometimes your autoimmune condition, you'll feel pain, you'll feel tired, whatever it is. So these are actually really vital to your life.
Oh yeah. And when to take them too. It's hard because I got into the habit in my 20s. I'm like, if I take a multivitamin a couple days a week, I'm feeling great. Like just the cherry on top kind of a deal. And then when I did get my autoimmune condition, well, actually when I got pregnant, I was like, I have to start taking this prenatal very consistently. And that's when I started getting into the habit of taking a supplement every single day. But then with my autoimmune condition, there's some in the morning and some at night. And that threw me for a loop.
Like how many do you have?
7
pills.
7 pills.
Non-prescription or
7,
including prescription?
8
okay.
including
8. Yeah. 8 all in. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's one right as soon as I wake up, and that's a prescription. I have to wait 30 to 60 minutes before eating anything. So it's really important that I take that because I need breakfast and I can't eat breakfast without it. And then I take like 4 with breakfast. And then at night, one of my prescriptions and the rest of the pills. So and I always tell myself, because I can get really hard on myself. And Amy, you brought that up too. I can get so hard on myself if I miss my morning ones. And it doesn't happen often. I will never miss my night ones because I literally will wake up in pain from the fibromyalgia that I also have. Because once you get one autoimmune condition, you can many times get more autoimmune conditions. So I'm on a prescription that helps with my full body aches. And I will wake up with full body aches. And so I just know I cannot skip that one. But I'll be hard on myself during the day, being like, oh my gosh, I forgot those. Make sure when I get home to take them. Wait, we'll be too late. And you can get in your head about it. And with any of these habits that we're doing, if you miss one day, you guys, don't be hard on yourself. Like give yourself some grace, especially at the beginning when you're trying something new. It is so hard to get into a habit right away and have it be perfect. But it's the consistency of you did it one day, you're doing it the next day. Okay, now it's been a week, now it's been 2 weeks. That's what's going to build the habit. And that's what you should really focus in on. But yeah, between the prescriptions, between the supplements, it's also making sure to order them so you don't run out. Like there's a lot that goes into it. Absolutely. Being an adult is hard, you guys. Being an adult is honestly really hard.
It's a lot to keep track of. I have a question. So for your morning one, do you keep it like on your bedside table or where do you keep it? Do you have to get out of bed?
I get out of bed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's in your
I get out of bed and I do every Friday or Sunday. I have my little pill organizer and I put all the morning ones in one, all the nighttime ones in one, and then I have my prescription bottle in the morning. And so if I
think it's hard too because it just takes time.
It's time. And then if I don't fill them on a Friday, for instance, that night I'm having to go through every single one and be like, wait, is this the nighttime one? Is this the nighttime one? With when you do it all at once, it's a lot easier. Yeah.
That's so interesting. I've got to get better. So that's one where I'm like, I just have to get better. I know my vitamin D goes low.
And vitamin D is honestly hard because that's a separate dropper.
Yep.
So that honestly is hard. I have to like put that one next to the
I put it on top of my coffee thing, but I don't think it's there right now. I'm like, come on. Like it's not that hard. You have to take that. So I do understand. I'm really good with my magnesium because I do have it on my bedside table. So it's just always there.
Right before bed.
I always have a water. Like I could never go to sleep without a water next to me.
Interesting.
Is that common?
I don't know. You tell us.
I can't go to sleep without a water. It's like physically.
Oh
my God.
Okay, look at that.
Oh yeah. Okay. So my second one would be protecting my sleep. I mean, we talk about this. We joke about this. We're known for this. We've had several sleep experts on. Sleep is the most important part of your health. And I don't say that to make anyone, get nervous because I know some people aren't good at sleep. And I know sleep is really hard to come by in certain seasons. But the research is there. If you want to be healthier, it's the first place to make the change. It's a keystone habit. So if you sleep better, you can make better food decisions. You can make better workout decisions. Like it's just so important. I know for me, because I was a night shift nurse for like 2 or 3 years. Oh my gosh, you're more emotional, you're more reactionary, you're just not yourself when you're not sleeping well. So protecting your sleep looks like, Drew might argue with this, but I will let myself stay up late sometimes if I really feel like it's worth it. But I do excuse myself from social situations. I'm the first one to go to bed. I always have to also shower before bed. So imagine me. I was at my sister and brother-in-law's house. They're having a party at 9 p.m. I'm like, I'm showering. And I've got to do my skincare. And then, at 10:15, I'm in bed. And it's just important to the way I function. Abby and I, we are hardworking. We have a lot to do. But it's also about the way I want to feel.
That's what
like I don't want to feel dog tired. The only time this is hard for me is when I do get situational anxiety. And so I will say that because it's not like I am perfect sleep scores across my whole life. I think when your mind is having a hard time or you're really thinking about something, it's my kryptonite is if one of my kids comes in and wakes me up when I'm in a work stress period. because then my mind starts thinking about the things I need to do and what I can do and what I'm excited to do and all of that. And I've never really been a person that has anxiety, but I've definitely experienced situational work anxiety. And so that's something where, like, I was getting so dramatic because you're actually catching me on a day where I woke up at 3:30 a.m. and that never happens to me. Like, that just doesn't unless I'm having work stress. So anyways, already for tonight, I'm thinking, do I sleep in the basement?
Right.
I don't want anyone to talk to me. No one disturb me. I'll probably take 2 magnesium. I'm just really sensitive. We both are.
Yes.
So here's your encouragement. It's, don't be afraid to protect your sleep a little bit. Like, it does us so well. We're so happy with our decisions and it's so good for your health. And it's a place where a lot of us could improve a little bit. And I did that. I, improve, and then get to a place where you're proud of it.
I have had these conversations with some of my coaching clients
Okay.
about, because they want a morning routine, or they come to me for routines. And so they're like, okay, I want a morning routine so I can get everything done before my kids wake up or before I start my work day. And they'll go into this elaborate routine of like every 5-minute block. And I'm like, okay, what does your nighttime routine look like? And they're like, no, I wanted to nail down my morning routine. I'm like, your morning routine is not going to work tomorrow unless you can go to bed at a decent time. You can't expect to wake up at 5 a.m. over and over again if you're going to bed at 11:30 and are watching TV for the last 3 hours of the night. So I really do think that if you're trying to do either one, I mean, because your nighttime routine.
Well, I kind of laugh because I go to bed early, but I'm not a morning person.
Right.
And my Aura Ring tells me that because it gives you like the type of chronotype you are. And mine is like basically like it's like my late morning is my best. Okay. They say you are not an early bird and you are not a night owl. You are just a tired pigeon. Just like I don't. And like, remember, and everyone lately has been talking about, but back in 2015, 2016 era where it was all the boss babes.
Oh, yes. You have to do that.
And everyone was screaming at you to have a 5:30 a.m. routine. And so I did try that. I truly did. When I was pregnant with Trey, was my earliest, maybe that's why he wakes up so early, was my earliest stretch of, because I had to work out. I was at my nursing job. I had to work out before, otherwise I couldn't really get it in. Anyways, and I'm just like, I just don't like it. Like, I tried it. I gave it a fair shot. I just don't love working out in the morning. All I think about is eating breakfast when I'm working out.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Next step. Yeah.
But if I work out in the afternoon, I'm perfectly happy to like be at the workout.
Well, we're exactly the opposite that way, because I have tried so hard to do an afternoon workout, because I mean, especially when our kids were in daycare, having that little bit of time in between work and daycare, that was like your sanctuary time. Like, that was such a good time. I'm like, I wanted to be able to do that. It was months and months and months. And of me being like, tomorrow I'm going to do that. And then I wouldn't do it. And then the next day I wouldn't get a workout in the morning because I was going to do it in the afternoon. And then the afternoon would come like, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to start.
Work with yourself, work with your personality, work with yourself. We're two great examples of like, she loves morning, I love afternoon. Nothing wrong with either as long as you're getting what you want to do in. Okay, what's your last one?
So I have it written down as meal prep.
Okay.
And I think it's more like tomorrow prep, like in like a greater thing. So just like thinking of the things you can do for yourself tomorrow, my mind automatically goes to tomorrow, to the point where I want to be more present in so much of my life because I'm so focused on like, make sure this is done for tomorrow, make sure this is done for tomorrow, make your day easier for tomorrow. So that's one thing I'm working on is also thinking about the today and being present today. But if it's meal prep or prepping the bags, getting the lunches ready, whatever it is, having tomorrow be set is something that I've kind of been good at I'm going to pat myself on the back. I've been good at that for a really long time, probably because of my anxiety and fear that I'm not going to have it done tomorrow, or that tomorrow is never promised, and being like, something could happen in the morning. But it does just set our weeks up so much better when we have done the grocery shopping, we have chopped the veggies, we have made the tough stuff. Usually it's like the protein. Otherwise, there's times during the week where I'm like, I literally do not feel like cooking. I don't feel like prepping. And there would be so many days where we'd eat rice and like canned tuna. And
you guys were in that stretch for a second.
Very long time. And again, it's fine. Having a couple of days of that is fine. Our kids eat mac and cheese often. Like it's fine to do that every once in a while. But do I want that to be my norm? And the answer is no. So I made a change of it to being like, okay, meal prep has to be part of this thing. It has to be part of this. I'm already good at prepping things for tomorrow. Let's just make meal prep part of it. So on Sundays is the day that we generally do a lot of it. I will say in the summertime. So the thing with habits is that different seasons make it harder to keep the same habits. So during the summertime, if we are at the cabin, if we are with friends until late, our kids are just playing outside later because the sun doesn't go down for so long. So we're honestly outside, and then they don't have school to wake up for in the morning. So our routine is just off a little bit. I will say it makes it a lot harder to do the meal prep and our Sunday prep during the summertime.
I feel like you just have to be more flexible about it. Like on a Saturday when you have a grill out, Drew and I just grill a ton
Grill
of extra
extras.
meat
Yep,
and
so
like
smart.
just, you know, make it what it can be. And instead of ditching it completely, usually feels better to like try to make it in.
And that's a good rule just overall with habits. Something is better than nothing. Something is better than nothing. And as a perfectionist, as somebody who's black or white thinking, I know how hard that can be. And I also know how living in the gray and having just something done, it literally is the best thing you can do for that type of brain.
It's so funny when we do these episodes because we do plan it a little bit, but then when I hear you talk, I'm like, we could not be more different in certain areas because I forget. I don't even know what's ever happening tomorrow.
Okay.
It's not it's not a conscious thought, to the point where Abby and Drew wish that I would remember a few things about the next. I honestly don't even think of it. I'm like, all I can do is today.
And have you always been that way? Like since you were
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, really, I just don't, my mind just does not go to tomorrow. Even if I think I know what I'm doing, it always it's like a surprise, like you're living in a surprise. And it's really, honestly, it works for me. I'm not recommending it. If that doesn't work for you, I'm just saying it's so interesting how different people are because I'm very happy with I feel very good. I don't feel like, shoot, I need to get better at worrying about tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
if you can have contentment in your style, as long as it's working for you and for your family, then I think
the interesting is if you're in partnership to be a little bit, you know, I've had to get better and we have with like our family calendar. And like he doesn't like when I ask him the same question over and over again. So like refer to the calendar.
But you guys are good about doing like weekly check-ins and that type of stuff.
But that's the thing, I forget it.
You forget
and then I have to like look at my thing to be like, okay, this is what's happening this day. So it is an area for improvement. Okay, my last one that I had is just honestly moving. Just like I'm a person, I've always known this actually, that is made to move. I cannot sit still for too long. To the point where when I was in high school and I was thinking what I wanted to do in college, I was like, I need a job where I don't have to sit at a desk. Like I cannot sit at a desk. I know I need to move. I know I need to be on my feet. So I was a personal trainer and then I was a nurse. Could argue nurses are on their feet too much. It's just like you never sit down. So now in this era where I'm a podcast host and a business owner, we move every day. We go for 30-minute walk midday every day, you know, still getting my strength training in, all that stuff. I know I'm better if I move. I'm happier if I move. You know, my anxiety is controlled when I move. So it's not an option to me, but it's also extremely flexible. Like you're like, okay, I work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I can't tell you when my strength workouts are going to happen. I just know the number I'm going to hit. And so there is a deadline. So it's like for me, I get them in. But if there's one day where I'm like, honestly, I'm too tired today. I don't feel like doing it. I won't do it, but I will get those workouts in the week.
So like
it's like
3.
you can hold yourself to something without it being so rigid if it works for you, if you want to. That's what I do.
I will say if I'm ever tired, sleep is more important to me than a workout in the morning. I will say that. So like if a Wednesday comes and the kids had a rougher night, or if I went to bed late, sleep is more important than the workout. I will move it to Thursday. But I do like having it on my schedule being like Monday, Wednesday, Friday are my strength days, just so I know that those are the days, and then I can plan a little bit around it. But like both ways honestly do work really well.
And that's what I've always said, because you know, in the past I've been a little defensive for the type B people, because I'm like, no one can tell me this isn't working. This is working,
it's working great. Right. It's working great.
I'm strong. I'm well. But moving on to some things we think we could improve, because I think we should also, we all have growth opportunities in our lives. And I think it is not wrong to think about like, okay, going into this year, what are some things that I want to improve on for the type of life that I want to live? So my first one is I've really gotten into a habit of doing too fast of a breakfast again. And this was an old habit that kind of resurfaced on me. I've been getting to work earlier. And so I want to kind of like essentially grab and go. I still eat it at home, and I've been doing a Greek yogurt. So, not bad, but it's like I know I need more fuel for my active lifestyle, for my muscles, like everything. We're perimenopausal basically. We need more
I definitely
fiber.
am. Yes.
You're
right behind me. You're right behind me, but I am there.
And so why don't I add some, like the stuff is available to me. It's in my house. Why don't I slow down just a little bit to add some berries into it and to add some walnuts, whatever, into it to make it a little bit more hearty so that that's better fuel for my day. So that's something I really want to improve on, because I think also when you're moving so fast every single day, that's also just not good for you.
No.
So I do like a couple days a week to have eggs in the morning, to have a hot breakfast to just slow down a little bit. I like a couple hot eggs, and I want to make sure I'm just like fueling myself well. So that's one area where I'm like, I've been telling you about it for what, 2 months?
Yep. So now,
And we said you're in, like you are in a habit right now.
Yes.
Whether it's one you want and it's positive or it's negative, I'm in a habit. And I think this is a negative habit. I need to have a better, more rounded breakfast. So I've got to get in the habit of improving that.
Well, and habits should carry you. You shouldn't carry the habit. So if you know it's something that is going to help you every single day, like a bigger breakfast, something that's going to add substance to your life, that's going to add fuel, it's going to help you for the rest of your day. So it's a habit that you're building that it's like, yes, at first it is a little bit trickier. It's going to take you an extra 10 minutes. You might have to clean up eggs, whatever it is. It's like, oh gosh, do I really want to do this today? Yes, because it's going to carry me throughout the day. I'm going to feel better. It's going to make it a ton easier to live that day. Well, and then we also get so hungry so early right now. I mean, like between like waking up,
I will be like, I can't talk. I need food. Like and we're both like that. So
it works. That's one thing we have in common. So we'll eat lunch.
I'll be like, I have to go eat right now. I can't even talk to you. So it's like, obviously you need to be more fueled so that you can make it to that next meal without flipping a switch and being like, I can't even work. Someone has to feed me. Okay, what's your first improvement area?
First improvement also is around food, and it's eating too much sugar.
Okay.
And it's specifically during a certain point in my day. So I don't crave sugar in the morning. I'm not a pancakes and waffles person that like just doesn't.
Wait, do those have sugar?
Pancakes
like the
and
syrup?
waffles. Oh, like the syrup. Yeah. The carbs, like a lot of carbs, carb heavy. That doesn't do it. At lunch, I don't even need a sweet treat after lunch. I don't even need one before dinner. Like some people are like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry before dinner. I'm going to eat something. No, I'm like, good. It's I eat dinner and I'm not satisfied and I want something else.
But I thought that you were okay with this. I thought that like we've really broken this down. And I thought that if you are well fueled throughout your day, the little treat helps you so that your mind doesn't like constantly think about the sweet treat. But let me hear you out. What's the
issue is the thinking about the sweet treat. It's like the habit of thinking about it that I hate.
But you think you can break that?
I don't know. I don't know. And that's the hardest
part. I don't want to stomp your dreams out, but like this seems deep in your DNA.
And I come from a binge eating background. So I binge ate for years and years and years, over a decade, like very, very long time. So it was not just sweets. It was all day, 6 days a week, you guys. It was binging. It was overeating. It was feeling so guilty. It was feeling so shameful. Next day, tomorrow I'm going to stop. And I'd wake up that next day and wouldn't eat breakfast because I'd eaten so much the day before. I'd go on literally like a 15-mile run because I was training for marathons. And then I'd come back and be like, well, I just burned 1,500 calories, quote unquote. Like I just burned a whole bunch of calories from running these miles. I'm going to eat a little bit more. And then a little bit more would all of a sudden lead to complete binging again, and then the tomorrow thinking again. One thing I have done a good job is not so much the tomorrow thinking of like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to start it again. It does still pop up though. And like, that's one thing that I would love to just erase the habit of. Carl Lowenthal calls it perfectionist fantasy of like when the first of the year comes, I'm going to, when the kids are back in school, when my kids sleep through the night, when work is caught up, when laundry is caught up, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden that day happens and things are the same because you haven't built enough of a foundation. You haven't built enough of a strategy to actually make the habit work.
Okay. So here's my follow-up questions. And this is just live on air.
Here we go.
You just laid that on me. Okay. So I thought that the little sweet treat, and you have kind of made them healthy and kind of branded it on your social media. I thought that the little sweet treat at night was actually really helpful to you to keep the binging at bay. And so that you are okay with that because you're super healthy, you
Mhm.
look great, you're not obviously trying to lose weight or anything. So help me understand, is it was the sugar getting to be too much? What's the turn here that we want to see?
Yep. So you're exactly right. The initial thought was, I know if I have a sweet treat during this time all day long, I'll just save it till that time. And now that habit has been in place for like a
Okay, so
year.
do you still think about sweets like all day long?
Nope, only
Okay.
during that certain
Okay.
time. And that's the part where I'm like, will my mind always do that? Will my mind always think about a
Mhm.
sweet treat right after dinner until I change something? Will it just always be part of me? Because it used to be all day, every day. I was thinking about it and I was thinking about my next
Mhm.
meal. If we were going to lunch on like a Saturday brunch and it was Monday, I was already looking at the menu to be like, what am I going to have on Saturday brunch? Like food thoughts literally
Mhm.
took up
Absolutely.
probably 90% of my brain. And I know that I'm not alone in that. And people
Mhm.
who have food thoughts, it is so hard because you literally go through life and you're thinking about food, you're thinking about your next meal, you're thinking about what you already ate, you're feeling guilt, you're feeling shame. It is all consuming. And so I talked with a coach. I got out of that habit, felt so good, but now I still have it during this like part of my day. And I'm like, gosh, I don't like the thinking about it. And then as soon as if I have a healthy, what I think or what I call a healthy sweet
Mhm.
treat, I don't feel bad about that
No.
one, but I have to make them. Like
Yeah.
that's the hard part. I have to make them. Ice cream, it's already in the fridge. So if I
Okay.
make ice cream, I'm like, oh, I really should have made the cookie dough bark that I actually like better. But it does take 30 minutes to make. You have to put it in the freezer for 30 minutes. Oh, I should have done that. I should have done that. And it's this guilt that comes over me.
Okay.
So I don't think it's actually the act of eating it. It's the guilt. It's the habit of guilt that I want to get rid of. Now that I'm
Okay.
talking about this,
So is
this is
it
like a
like
little therapy
ice cream?
session.
Is it like the ice cream that triggers it more? Whereas if you had what you think what is a
Right.
healthier one, you don't feel
I don't
guilt
feel
about
guilty
that.
about that.
Okay, this is really
Yeah,
interesting because also I'm like, is it at all a perfectionist fantasy to think that you can go from
could be.
torrid binge eating for
Mhm.
10 years to now you want to be such a healthy person that you don't even have like this one little thing?
Yeah. No, and I think it literally is the guilt around which kind it is because
Okay.
I don't mind having a
Hmm.
little sweet treat if it's in my mind again, something that is fueling me a little bit. So when I say that it's, lower in sugar, I know the ingredients that are in it because I'm actually making it. There's a little bit of protein in all the things that I make. But I think that ice cream's a trigger too because that was my like binge eating food.
Ooh,
And when I
okay.
went gluten free, I didn't know what to make. So 4 years ago when I went gluten low, I was eating ice cream every night because
Sure.
I was legitimately hungry
Hmm.
and I knew that the ice cream that I was eating didn't have any gluten in it. So I was like, well, I know that I'll get my calories this way. So I think that there's just some triggers with a few
Okay.
different foods. So if you guys have food thoughts or food challenges with it, like we're with you in different ways, but it
I
is a
think it's a great
challenge.
conversation because obviously a lot of people have struggled with food in one
Mm-hmm.
way or the other. And I also think it just sheds a light of too is when you are making your goals for this coming year, I think be realistic, smart
Yes.
goals.
Yes.
My exercise science degree,
Yep.
you
Specific, measurable,
measurable,
attainable,
attainable,
time,
realistic, and time
realistic. Yep.
oriented.
There you go.
So, I think that conversation brings it up. It's like, do you want to go to 3 days or 2 days? And like, don't, we're not going to perfect anything. Like make
Mm-hmm.
your goals realistic so that you can hit them
Yeah.
and you know why you're doing it. Okay. What else could I improve? I mean, geez, I do think one thing I do want to improve is just this work year was a little more stressful than I would like my work stress to be. And there are some things within my control. So I do want to work on that. But the one that I wanted to mention more publicly is I really do want to be a better partner to Drew in terms of the schedule stuff
Okay. Okay.
because he's
Mm-hmm.
implementing these systems and he's got everything organized and he does so much on it. It is very easy to just look at my cozy app instead of asking him because like we see on the internet and it's usually in the form of a woman
Yeah.
saying it, so it's opposite. Because I don't want to ever necessarily defend men, but in this case I kind of am one. And it's like we truly aren't trying to annoy you or add more, that's never, it just seems fast and easy to ask. But I want to use my resources better so that I'm not putting him in the position of like always having the mental load of the family. And like I said, he's got systems so that I don't need to ask him. And he will tell me, you need to check Cozy. I'm not having this conversation. So like this year, I hope to be better at that. So that, because I just want to respect the system. And like this morning, and this is a different subject, but I was like thanking him so much for he's always been the person in control of the groceries. Before that, the diapers and wipes, we literally never once ran out of diapers and wipes. I'm like, that is like you do an incredible job to have inventory of this house to which we never run out of anything is insane. So thank you so much. My participation can be better.
I like that you brought that one up because I think it's really relatable. And I think that when people make systems, it's not just a system for you, it's a gift for the whole family. Like you're putting a system in.
But don't put too many systems in because you guys sometimes go crazy and it really is. It's like, I don't have to be on your train tracks. Like it's got to be a compromise of the way, because I don't want a system for everything. I really don't. It's too much. It's like, leave me alone. I want to just like relax. So you can't have a system for everything and your expectations can't be to the moon. But what I was saying is there is some systems that like absolutely make sense and I should be bought in.
And those are the ones where it's like, we can both agree that this is a great for the family.
Yeah.
We can both agree that instead of doing double work, so like creating the system like Cozy, the calendar app,
me asking,
and then you asking, it's like, wait, I've already done the work. I've already put it in there. If you go there, then we can all see it. It's like, I think it's a really great way. I mean, because there's little things like that we all do where it's like, we're putting more work on the other person that they've already done the work for. It's like, oh gosh, if there's a few of those things, and even talk with your partner about it, talk with your close friends, talk with your family about it, see, maybe even ask them, like, what are some areas that I could work on this year? If you're having a hard time finding them, I could like,
Drew and I did that last year. Yeah. We talked 3 goals for our marriage and gave each other like attainable things that we would like to see the other. You have to be open to feedback.
You have to be.
But I'm saying like it could be, it is hard to hear what you're not good at from someone that looks like, you're like, okay, tone it down.
When the defensiveness comes up, then I know I asked for this, but
it's a good, especially if you guys can be kind and talk nicely and have a good delivery and not make them feel bad. I think it is a really good marriage building exercise.
One thing that I can work on with relationships is relationship habits, like the small daily signals. So we do a few things, like every morning we have the same morning mantra, but you know, like when your partner comes home or if you're the one who's coming home, I want there to be like something that we do every day. And it doesn't have to be forced. It doesn't have to be like, okay, now we're going to start to kiss each other for 7 seconds and ask each other 3 things that happened today.
Well, that would be your default. It's like,
and it might start that way. It doesn't feel genuine.
Okay. So,
but like, for instance, every night that we eat dinner together, we ask each other the high, low, and buffalo. So like the best thing that happened, the worst thing that happened, and a crazy weird thing. And we have a few of those things, but our kids like them so much. Yeah. And it leads to just easy conversation starters that just, we have that one, you know, it feels a little bit forced because it's just like this little mantra thing, this little habit, I guess, but then it leads to such great conversation. So I do want to have just a few more of those things when this is airing. You know, Christmas just happened, the holidays just happened, and thinking about even traditions, like the things that our kids look forward to, the things that we look forward to. I do want to start doing a few more of those as it relates to relationships.
Well, because I do think it gets really hard if you get in the habit of saying, how was your work day? And you and your partner are going to ask each other the same question from now into oblivion, like truly. And there's like 1,000 resources out there, but like get some fresh questions, you know, start to like see your partner for whatever stage that they are in currently. It's actually so helpful. Friendship too, you know, do we have to say the same old thing or could we have, you know, an interesting, unique conversation that we could go a little deeper?
When I remember so vividly when I was an angsty teenager and I would wake up, my mom would always say, how did you sleep? And I remember being so annoyed because I knew she would ask it every morning. And I was like, I don't know, Mom. I was sleeping. And I would answer with the same thing every time because I was so, I know, I was an angsty teen and I did not.
I still can't believe that. I really can't. She's so pleasant. She's so nice. She's so kind. And like, you know, you say the hormones and everything. I was really nice to my parents.
Okay.
I was not angsty. My dad will come on the record. That's not to say, oh my gosh, I was a better teen than you. I'm just like surprised because that doesn't seem like the core of who you are.
Doesn't seem.
But the hormones just like took over.
And like, if I get annoyed, any kind of repetition, I get really annoyed with repetition. But then I love a schedule. So like a therapist could literally have a heyday with that. But I hate repetition
of like what people say,
or if it's like the same annoying thing.
Wait, I'm so confused because you just talked of all
that's what I
your
mean.
good
That's what I
things were
mean.
about
Schedules. So
but
like, I
you
love
get
a schedule
annoyed
and a
with
plan. Like if
other people's repetition.
yes, and if I get annoyed with my own repetition. Like if I do the exact same thing that I'm annoyed about over and over again, I'm like, why are you doing this again? Why are you doing this again?
Okay.
That I've been like that forever, like repetition. It's usually words. Like if someone says the same thing, it like is in my mind. I'm like, I know they're going to say this again. I know they're going to say this again.
Oh, so that mom phase that your kids go through when they're like, mom, 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 mom.
I literally say there's a dad right next to you. Like I remember saying that so vividly so many times.
I literally say you can't say my name anymore. I can't say it.
Like done. Yes. So those are the times. So we're working on some of those. No, but the important thing is that you can literally start at any time. Yeah. So you can start at any time. That's the most important thing. Mm-hmm. Something is better than nothing.
Don't give up on it. Like if you have a life comes up, Abby and I, have had things come up this year. Things come up. You work through them, you do the best you can, and then you get back on the horse. You don't say, oh, 2026 is screwed. I can't work out because January I haven't, it's not like that. It truly is to live a fulfilling, happy, healthy life. You have to just put yourself back on the track a lot.
You do. So hopefully you left this with a few things that can motivate you, but also think about this last year. Like that was a really good way that we started this. Think about this last year. Mm-hmm. What are the things that you're doing well? Maybe we jogged your brain on a few of those items, and then also looking to next year of a few things that we can work on. So thanks for being here.
Your voice got so quiet at that. Bye.
Bye.